Not again. Look, let me clarify. Yes, Chadwick does play Black Panther. He's actually the first to play Black Panther in live action, and he's phenomenal. If I titled the video, Chadwick is Black Panther, but he didn't create Black Panther, it just wouldn't sound great. And it was indeed a tragedy that we lost him. But just because we lost Chadwick doesn't mean that the character of T'Challa has to die as well. You see, the character of Black Panther has been around even before Chadwick was born. This character has been around for years with multiple appearances in other media except movies. At one point, we almost had a Black Panther movie with Wesley Snipes in the 90s. It wasn't until Civil War that we finally got to see the character on screen for the first time. And then 2 years after, we would get his first solo movie, and it would be a massive hit. Everyone was shouting, "Wakanda forever!" Everybody was shouting, "Yavambe!" during the Infinity War and Endgame era. Black Panther 2 was announced, and it would have had Namor as the villain. And then 2020 happened. We would get the news that Chadwick had passed away due to colon cancer. It was a very sad day indeed, and it would mean that Marvel would have to recast to continue the story of T'Challa. But that's not what happened. Instead, they had the bright idea to continue not just without Chadwick, but without T'Challa. They could have halted on the film since he passed during pre-production of the sequel. They either could have delayed it or they could have canceled it, so that way they can mourn and not rush the film. But the first movie made so much money, so they gotta pump out that sequel for another billion, and they had the bright idea to monetize his death. Hey guys, gotta go see this movie. We are going to honor Chadwick by killing off T'Challa and then have Shuri take over the mantle.
How great are we?
How does that make any sense? If you look at T'Challa's story arc in the MCU, from Civil War to Endgame, it started out with him getting revenge for his father's murder, then he would become king in his solo movie, then he gets blipped from the snap in Infinity War, and then he comes back in Endgame, and then he dies again in Wakanda Forever? Does that sound like a complete arc to you? A recast was sacrificed because they thought it was disrespectful and too early, but they were fine recasting Thunderbolt Ross after William Hurt passed. Oh, but he's not an important character, so it's different. Oh yeah, well, he seems important now, considering he was the president in the MCU, and he's fucking Red Hulk, and he's played by Harrison Ford. But he's not an important character, guys. And the removal of T'Challa is not just in the movies, it's in everywhere. X-Men 97, T'Chaka is Black Panther, even though T'Challa was, considering that all of the 90s cartoons are apparently part of the same universe. Then Bo DeMaio comes in and confirms that Marvel was responsible for that retcon. That Marvel 1943 game, which features Captain America and Black Panther, does not feature T'Challa. Now, this one makes sense considering it is set in the 40s and T'Challa wasn't even born yet. But then there's the canceled Black Panther game that was being made by EA, and that was going to introduce a new Black Panther. Chadwick may have been a big part of bringing the character to life, but he isn't the character in real life. It's like saying you were to kill off Peter Parker after Endgame because Tom Holland passed, and in Far From Home they introduced Miles Morales as Spider-Man. The first movie where he proves himself to Tony Stark that he can become a hero, to losing Tony Stark in Endgame, and then he dies from radioactive poisoning or something. Like I said, this character has been around for years. He is Marvel's first African superhero. I don't think honoring him would be for the character to die with him. It just doesn't seem right. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Other people are furious that Marvel didn't recast. They're out there putting hashtag recast T'Challa on social media because his story is not complete. It had barely just begun. Hopefully, after Secret Wars, it soft reboots and brings T'Challa back with a new actor, and even though they have big shoes to fill, they will at least honor the legacy of Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman. Anyway, I will end the video off here. Like and subscribe, and as always, let's hug it out.